Good morning, YouTube. Today, I'm working on my 94 Chevy C1500. The issue I was having, I came here the other day because it's been getting cold lately. I said, well, let me check my coolant and make sure it was topped off pretty good. And I came out here, it was full. And I normally don't fill it up. I'm most fine, at least about right there. So, when I came, I popped the top off the radiator and noticed it was some brown gook, like milky type stuff going on. And it kind of sort of scared me a little bit. So I opened this up, and as you can still see, it still looks muddy. So I'm thinking, it's a possibility I might have a blown head gasket. But then I'm like, why would oil be in my coolant, my radiator? I said, still, I'm not gonna root out the fact it could be a blown head gasket. So I remember a couple of days I kept putting transmission fluid in my transmission because, as you can tell when your transmission had like it's low on fluid because it'll hesitate on pulling or switching gears. And once that happens, people, you definitely want to pull over and get to the nearest gas station because you want to keep that joker full of fluid. Because if it lock up, some gears burnt, you gotta get another transmission. So I done that. So I started to think, I called one of my homeboys up that work on cars, and he's like, now that you told me that, man, he said, it could be the intercooler in your radiator is gone. Because the truck didn't even run hot. That's the crazy part about it. It didn't even run hot or anything. So I checked my oil. My oil was low, but it wasn't milky. And then I took this top off. You can see how it looked like it could be oil mixed with the radiator. But he told me a lot of times, now if your transmission fluid intercooler busts and it mixes with antifreeze, it looks like that too. So I said, I gotta check. I should have came out here and checked my transmission level. Let's see what it's standing at. And see, as you can tell, it's dripping kind of sort of milky too. I get the truck on it. Yeah, so I'm gonna hit him up and see, do he think I need to drain the transmission fluid too? Man, I hate to do that though, for real, because this means on these trucks here you gotta drop the pan, get the fluid out, and then that means top converter. Could be as bad too. Yeah. But I'm ready to start taking it off already. I'm gonna talk you guys through it too. First thing first, my radiator, since it's been replaced before, I replaced it about 7 years ago. So it did pretty good to last this long. But, I got it from O'Reilly's. And I got it back in 2015. Here it's gonna be 2023. So mine, when I bought the new one, the original one didn't come with a drain plug. My new one did. This is what it looks like. So I put me a bucket right down there and I let it drain out. You can still see some of the mixed stuff right there. So I let it drain out first. That made a plus from having to take the dang hoses off and have stuff splattered everywhere. But you're still gonna have some kind of leakage when you start disconnecting this stuff. So now I went ahead and disconnected the heater hose, which is right here. It was on by a clamp. Take my flat tip, pry this off. It goes to my reservoir. I'm gonna let all that, I'm not gonna put that back in here. I'm gonna let all that drain out into the bucket I got right there underneath the truck. And take these lines loose. I wanna say, it's been a while, they're either 11 or 12. Get your open end ratchet and take those off. Just remember what place they go in. You can't mess that up, because one is actually built to fit to be at the bottom, and the other one is fit to be at the top. So you really can't get those crossed over. If you do, yeah, more power to you. Something's not right. But anyway, you got a bolt right here, 10 millimeter, one right here, and one right here that I already taken out. with my power tool here, and you have, this is for the fan cover, and you have a 10mm bolt right there, and on the same side. So we're going to take those loose, and then I'm going to take this hose loose. This is the upper hose that goes to your thermostat, and then I'm going to take loose the bottom hose that goes to my thermostat. I mean, it goes to the motor, and this bad boy should be ready to pull out. So let me set my phone down. So you can see what I'm doing. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and take this upper hose loose right here I was telling you guys about. Yeah, but I mean, I'm just hoping. I want to call him up and see what he says, because man, you gotta do what you gotta do. But trust me, on my 2002 Suburban, it came with a drainage, so we could drain it. But on these trucks right here, they didn't come with one. So I was like, you gotta take the whole. I started taking the pan off. Yeah, so I'm trying to ease this original clamp off. Which, I mean, eventually I might have to end up replacing it, because it's getting old and stuff. Alright, so we got that off. Just pry it off. Loosen it up. This is the original clamp that came on these things. I mean, this is 94 and it's still on there. Most times with these hoses, especially the big ones, they be on there so tight, you take you some pliers, grip around it a little bit, and twist it. That loosens them up, allows you to pull it off. So I'm going to pull it off so that when they give me that much trouble. So you can aim for the bucket. Hopefully that I want to take the reservoir off to get it to drain out. Hopefully gravity just takes over. And it is. Well, it did. Let me pop this cap off, and hopefully that helps it drain out. Yeah, it's doing something. It's slow motion though. But I'm not in a big rush for it. We're just gonna let that drain. I'm still pouring out. I can finish taking the rest of the stuff off. Drop my phone. Alright, so I'm going to take these. Let me see. Before I do that, I want to take that bottom, take these hoses off. Let me take this top hose off first. Like I said, these hoses are still, they're not freshly new, but, you know, they've been on here. I think I end up replacing these. Whoa. Hold on, I gotta get another bucket. I think I end up replacing these also. Yeah, sorry about that. I was pausing it, but I had to run and get another bucket. Cause I took this upper hose loose, it started coming out. I thought all of it was drained, but yeah. So you know, I'm gonna go ahead and take this upper hose loose. I mean, it's already loose. Take it off and aim for that bucket down there. It wasn't that much, but I'm kind of sort of concerned now. I'm gonna take this one off the motor. I mean, it's transmission fluid. I don't even know how that even caused that block to act up. Yeah, so I'm going to end up probably calling my mechanic and get his idea, his opinion on what I should do, because I don't know if it will harm the heating procedure, and I don't know. Let me go ahead and just take this crap off. Like I said, we might have a big mess, but I'm hoping. I mean, I think even at that particular time, if it happened while I was driving that truck that particular night, and it was still kind of cold, I had my heat on. So, I mean, yeah, this thing I went through my whole heating system. That bad fluid in it. Yeah. And it's actually, as you can see, actually in there too, where the thermostat goes out. So I'm gonna get my shop vac and see can I suck that out. Hopefully when I take the bottom hose loose, hopefully that'll put it in. Yeah, I need to get this wrenched out too. Hopefully I'll put it in to let the other stuff drain out of it. And I mean, I don't know how much is in the block itself. That's the other thing that is worrying me at this moment. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this bottom hose off right here. That's one thing I didn't want to happen, to get into the dang engine block itself, which it's majority coolant with transmission fluid, but still, I want it to be just pure what it's supposed to be. Yeah, that junk is awful. And the crazy part about it is you get no, I didn't have no indication that it was doing that. Yeah, I might try to take that bottom hose off and let it drain from there. Go ahead and get the radiator off, get this cover off, and pull the radiator out, and then see. Let me go and get these transmission lines loose. So I think I'm just gonna bring out a 11 or 12 as one or the other. Stay tuned. So it's actually a size 13, and you always, when you're up top, you turn to your right. Loosens it up. When I took that bottom hose off, yeah, it just drained out fast then. So I guess it still had pressure on it. As you can see, 13, turn it. So now I found that size. Just go ahead and finish taking these other two bolts out on this side, that side, so we can get this cover off. And remember, those are size 10 millimeter. Now I took the cover out once I took those bolts out, and this is what we got. So now I finish taking that line off, and that line at the bottom with this 13 millimeter. And you definitely want to disconnect your battery cable. That keeps it from cranking up, because if your hands are the way of that blade, once it cranks up, oh yeah, it's gonna be an ugly accident. And this is what the cover looks like. You got a little idea. Take it off. Just right now my mind is going like, man, you know what? This fluid, even though it's majority coolant, is in the block itself. So I'm just gonna, hopefully it's not that much to hurt anything. So what I'm gonna end up sucking that out. That's where your thermostat go at. Suck that part out, and take that hose off right there at the bottom, so that'll drain anything from the water pump. And whatever in the block, when I crank it up and it flushes through, I guess I could probably run it for about a good week, and then flush it again. Because I have no idea of how to get it out the block. I don't think it's that much that's in your top piece right there. Because it holds water in there, so it can't be that much. I hope it ain't. But majority, hopefully, when I take the bottom hose out, we'll have a lot of more mess to get out and go from there with it. But for the most part, it's clean out of there. It's gonna have a new radiator. I want to wash the hoses out too, to get any type of residue out of it, and then go from there with it. But yeah, definitely first thing, I shouldn't have said in the beginning, disconnect your battery cable, because it's just for safety purposes. You know, you don't want to be doing anything and all of a sudden this bad boy turns over on you. So yeah, always have your battery cable disconnect. All right, so let me finish taking this line off, and hopefully we'll be able to snatch the radiator out. Now both of the lines are completely off. This bad boy should be ready to pull on out. All right, here she comes. And there she is. So let's see what, if I tip it over, how it looks. Oh yeah. There you guys seen that. So it's no doubt in my mind. Yeah, I didn't add any coolant to it. So that's one thing I need to look up. I don't know whether it allow coolant to go back in there or what. I'm finna see, can I get one of my good buddy on the phone. I have a feeling he's gonna tell me some bad news. Let's see, can I get him to pick up? Give me 1 second. So next, I'm gonna go ahead and take this bottom hose loose right here and let that drain out. Yeah, I still didn't get my buddy on the phone though, because you don't want to go through all this and still encounter some type of problem that you can call somebody who deals with these things on a regular basis. So give me a second. I'll get my pliers. Let me see. It might slide off. Nope. I don't think it even loosen it up in it. I don't feel like it. Like it's seized on her. Let me see. Feel around it. Loosen it up a little bit. If I can just get this thing to aim down then that'll help out. Keep on doing that then. Yeah. I mean, that's not good though. You don't want that joker to pop off on you. While you riding. Might have to get this bottom baby off too. Yeah, give me a minute. Hey, now I done that. I took the bottom hose, which is right here. I lifted it on, but I bent it all the way down. So yeah, it's actually draining. You can see that stuff is mixed real good with that coolant. So there's no doubt in my mind we still gonna have some in the engine. I'm gonna take my shop vac. Yeah, I'm gonna take my shop vac. What's going on? Yeah, I'm gonna take my shop vac and go ahead and get inside here and get that out. I'm not even gonna take the thermostat out. I'll forget him a call and see what he says. Let's see here. Bear with me. Oh, it's after the holidays. A lot of people are busy. I hate to bother people. Yeah, but he's a real good mechanic. He know about these Chevrolet engines out the back of his head and a lot of foreign cars too. Just gotta get him on the phone. He's just been under the weather lately. Oh. Hey, what's going on, man? Doing all right?
What's up?
I'm doing good. I'm just my phone. I think my phone going in and out on you. Shoot. Hey, I got a question for you. Hey, so the other day, you know, since it's been cold or whatnot, I've said let me check my dang coolant in my '94 Chevrolet C1500, and I went ahead and checked. I popped my hood, and my dang reservoir was full to the top, and I'll never fill it up. I always keep it on the line. So I took my radiator cap off, and it was full, but it had brown residue. And I got to thinking about it. I said, you know what? I said, first thing came to mind, I might have blew a head gas, but I thought about the other day going to work, my transmission acted like it was low on fluid. So I put transmission fluid in there. So I'm thinking the intercooler and the radiator don't collapse. You know how your transmission line's going into your radiator? I wouldn't got another radiator, but yeah, the intercooler for the transmission that's built inside the radiator I guess it somehow merged with the antifreeze.
Really?
Uh huh.
Oh, true red. Huh?
So what now?
True red.
Yeah. I checked. I checked my oil. My oil is still jet black,
Oh, okay.
but my transmission fluid is low. So yeah, when I took the stuff down, and man, you can see redness. You can see actually some of the transmission fluid coming out the hoses when I took the hoses off the radiator. So now I'm thinking, have you ever seen that happen before?
Yeah.
So what I did, I went ahead, I flushed out my dang reservoir, get all that stuff out of there. I took my upper and lower hose off, cleaned them out real good. I took my shop vac and sucked that stuff out with my thermostat in. Now I still know it's some in the block,
Right.
but I don't think it's that much because it mostly be on the top manifold, don't it?
Top what?
When the coolant, the water go through the motor, it must be on that top piece underneath the
Intake.
yeah, the intake.
You know, I go through all the whole motor.
So I probably got a lot of that stuff still in here, don't I?
You probably in here, so you take the bottom radiator hose off.
I did that too.
Okay. And
I took all the hoses off and drained all that stuff out of it.
all that come out. Whatever you did came out, right?
Right.
So what you do? You had to change the radiator because radiator probably ain't no good. That probably was wrong with it.
Yeah, I don't took the radiator off. I don't want to got another radiator I'm finna put on here.
Okay, yeah, so that should probably feature route there.
But see what I'm thinking. I'm saying, man, I thought about it. You don't think that that coolant got in my transmission, do you?
No, it ain't gonna go to transmission. Transmission pump from me.